The wedding was everything I had dreamed of: flowers, music, friends, family, and the woman I loved walking down the aisle to become my wife. As we smiled for photos and greeted guests, I thought this was the happiest day of my life. We laughed together that evening, cut the cake, and danced as husband and wife for the first time. Everything felt perfect, and I was certain our marriage would be filled with love and trust. When the night finally quieted, she took my hand and led me aside. Her expression grew serious, softer than the smiles she had worn all day. "I need to tell you something," she whispered. My heart skipped, unsure of what could possibly be so important now. Then she said, "I'm not ready to be close yet. I need time." Her eyes searched mine nervously, waiting for my reaction. I felt a wave of confusion, but I nodded slowly. Marriage, I thought, was about patience and respect. If she needed time, I would give it to her. "It's okay," I told her, forcing a reassuring smile. "We don't have to rush anything." She looked relieved, though a strange shadow lingered in her eyes, something I couldn't quite read. The honeymoon passed quietly. We went sightseeing, took long walks on the beach, and laughed at little things. On the surface, everything seemed fine, but at night there was always a distance. I told myself it was just nerves, that love meant waiting. Still, a seed of doubt began to grow in me. Why marry me if she wasn't ready? When we returned home, life settled into routine. We set up our apartment, decorated the living room, and invited friends for dinner. Everyone saw us as the perfect couple, and I tried to believe that too. But sometimes, late at night, I caught her staring at her phone, quickly turning it off when I walked in. One evening, I gently asked her if something was wrong. She shook her head, smiling faintly. "You're a good husband. I just need time." Her words felt like a wall I couldn't climb. I told myself to be patient, but my heart ached with questions I couldn't ask. Weeks turned into months. The space between us grew larger, and though she laughed with me in public, she seemed far away in private. I started to notice excuses: late work nights, sudden errands, unexplained moods. I wanted to trust her, but unease became a constant shadow over my thoughts. One night, unable to sleep, I walked into the living room and found her phone buzzing on the table. My name wasn't on the screen. Instead, a message glowed brightly: "When can we meet again?" My chest tightened as I picked it up, scrolling through words that shattered me. They weren't just friendly chats. They were confessions, promises, and memories she had shared with someone else. In that moment, the truth hit me harder than I could bear. She hadn't been not ready. She had been hiding. Every excuse, every delay, every distance between us had been a cover for something I was too blind to see. My patience had become her shield. When I confronted her, she froze, then broke down. She admitted she hadn't ended things with someone from her past. She thought marriage would make her forget, but it hadn't. "I'm sorry," she cried. "I wanted to love you the way you love me, but I couldn't let go." The betrayal cut deeper than words. I had stood before family and friends, vowing my life to her, while she carried another man in her heart. My silence, my trust, my patience, all of it had been taken for granted. The wedding vows we exchanged felt like empty promises now. I didn't scream, though I wanted to. I didn't cry, though my chest burned with pain. I simply looked at her and realized that love without honesty was nothing but an illusion. "You should have told me before," I said quietly. "I gave you my heart. You gave me lies." That night, I packed a small bag and walked out of the apartment. The air outside was cold, but it felt cleaner than the suffocating silence of that home. I didn't know where my path would lead, but I knew I couldn't live chained to betrayal. Looking back, I realized patience is only beautiful when it is met with truth. Love cannot grow in shadows of secrets. I had agreed to wait for her, but in the end, I learned I was waiting for something that was never meant for me.